panelist essentially asks a couple of questions of the participants. So about a week or two ago, I sent in a series of proposed questions to New England Cable News, which is airing the debate. And the New England Cable News person was going to discuss the questions with Chuck Todd of Meet the Press, who's the moderator. And they were going to come to some sort of conclusion about which questions we're going to ask. And so then they're going to send them back to me, and I guess I'll be asking probably 2, maybe 3 questions of Shaheen and Brown on a week from Tuesday. UNH asked me to participate. They're one of the sponsors of the debate. Without giving away too much, they asked me to focus on local issues. So I tried to come up with some questions that were centered around issues of concern to New Hampshire voters. And then I think Chuck Todd is going to have the national scene. Well, I assume Chuck Todd is going to ask some questions on his own. And they haven't laid out to me yet the ground rules of the debate. I imagine a moderator sometimes will ask follow-up questions if he's unhappy with the answer that was given, or maybe he sees an opportunity to follow up. So I think the moderator's in charge of engineering the whole thing, making sure it's running on time, that sort of thing. Hopefully, if we do our jobs right, they can learn in 90 minutes a fair amount about the candidates, their views on various issues, and if they're going to vote, which I hope they do, that they'll be adequately prepared to make an informed decision. It depends a lot, I think, on the panelists and the moderator. One, to perhaps ask them questions they haven't heard 100 times before. And then 2, perhaps to give them a nudge to say something they haven't said already, or to call out any contradictions or ambiguities in what they're saying. But it can be tough to push them off their talking points. So hopefully over the course of the hour we'll be able to do so. But it is something that candidates are cautious about saying anything new. They tend to try to want to stick with what's worked. Right, it's a midterm and it doesn't get the amount of attention that a presidential year gets. Young voters are notorious for not turning out to vote in large numbers unless there's a lot of attention surrounding the election. So in presidential years, you get a lot of UNH students turning out to vote. In off-year elections, they tend to get much less attention. You know, midterm elections are important. It's important to get out and have your voice heard. Chances are this electorate is reputedly going to be a lot older than a typical presidential year, and a lot of that depends on the assumption that young people will not vote, that they only vote every 4 years. So if UNH students want to buck the system, the best thing for them to do is to get out and vote on November 4th.